answer it. Oh, hi. Today I'm going to show y'all. This is going to be some vegetables. Vegetable dinner today, okay? Okay, today I'm going to show y'all how I make my green country crunchy stems. Green crunchy stems. And also my hash brown burgers and my apple pancakes. Now, let's get to work and the cooking, because I'm not going to keep y'all on here all day. First of all, y'all know what this is. It ain't nothing but turnip green stems. You can boil them first before you deep fry them or fry them to make them more softer. Do you hear that crunch? Okay, I got my batter over here already battered up and the dry flour. We're going to do it. You can take your hand or you can use a glove. We're going to do the green crunchy stems first. I'm just going to do a couple of them. It's a lot of mess now. This is how you do it. You dip it in your batter, then you dip it in the dry batter, okay? And you can dip it 4 or 5 times if you want, but I'm just going to dip it once, okay? And then you just lay it over here on your plate. That's how you do it. And I'm going to cook a couple of them and show y'all how they look. Because, see, a lot of people cook some waste not, want not. And that's the way I cook. Waste not, want not. Okay, we're going to sit these over here. See, I battered them up. Now I'm going to take them over here, put them in my deep fryer. And they're only going to cook for a couple of minutes, okay? Then you can wash your hands afterward. And then, while that's frying, I'm going to take my hash brown burgers. And how I made my hash brown burgers, I made it out of soybeans. Soybeans, you can go anywhere and buy it, the soybeans. Also, I had used 1 egg and 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of milk. And I can show you some of the stuff, but because other stuff, I don't have it. Then I took my hand and I just work it and knead it just like you're doing a dough. And so then you just take them like this and roll them up, flatten them out. I'm not winning no context here, so I'm just not going to make them perfect. And then you just put it in the skillet. That's how you do that. While my green crunchy stems are cooking, let's do another one. And I'm going to tell you something. These are so good. Try it. And I hope you like it. These are so good. You see, I'm just going to make a couple of them and show y'all. This is going to be a big burger here. My husband likes them and I do too. And I just flatten this one out with my hand. But you can use, you can roll them out just like dough. And you can use a biscuit cutter or a jar or whatever you want to use. Okay, my green country stems, they are already ready. It don't take but a few minutes for those to cook. A few minutes. And while I'm doing that, I'll rinse my hands off. Give me a paper towel here. I wish I would have had my apples already cut so I can show y'all. So now I got to unplug my deep fry again. Now see, I already got some of these green crunchy stems already ready. You see that? They already ready. Now I'm going to get these out of here. And I'm going to show y'all. You see that? That's how it look. And believe me, they crunchy. They good too. But if you want to boil your stems before you cook them, it's up to you. Because y'all know me. I do mine the anyway. And you do yours your way. You hear? This is the anyway. My kitchen in my way. No disrespect. Okay. While that's frying, my hash brown burgers. This is my apple, how I make my apple pancake, okay? And then you can use any kind of apple you want to. You can use Granny Smith. You can use any kind you want. This apple here, I don't know, forgot the name of it. I went to a market, and this lady at the market, she was giving people samples of her apple, right? And so I said, well, let me go over there and taste a piece of this apple and see what it tastes like. And it's very golden and sweet. You see this? This is how you cut it. You do the same thing that you do to your crunchy stem. You just batter them up in your same batter you want. Or you can use more batter. It's up to you. Let me get over here and see about my hash brown burgers. Okay? Okie dokie. If y'all can see me way over here. Those green country stems, that don't take but a couple of minutes to fry. Unless you want them fried, 2 or 3 hours. It's up to you. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes. Y'all see how fast that I cooked that, didn't you? I knew you did. So, my apples, sometimes they don't come out cut exactly the way you like it. But oh well. Who knows? Who's paying any attention? Okay, you just smother your apples, just like that, in your other mixture flour, your dry flour. And this is 2 cups of dry flour that I have. And for the wet flour, I use 2 cups of flour and my milk. Okay? And 1 egg. And then I use 1 egg. Okay? This is the flour, and this is the egg that I use on my green crunchy stems and my pancake, apple pancake. And this is the milk. You can use any kind of milk you want. If you want season, you can put season on your food, but I didn't. Okay. Now here we go. Now I already got some of these burgers already cooked, if y'all can see it. You know what I mean? This is the one I took out the skillet. Yeah. You see it? They're good, hot, and crunchy. They're not crunchy unless you let them stay in there too long. You see that? That looks really good. Okay. Now back over here to my apples. I already got them patted out. We're gonna lay them in the skillet. Now those hash brown burgers, you can just put them in there. You can cook them on each side 2 minutes a piece, or maybe longer. That's up to you. However you like it and however you want it. It's up to you. So that's just the way I do mine. Okay. Now I got that all done. We're just gonna cook a couple of pieces of those apples just to show y'all. And the leftover batter that you have, you can make biscuits out of whatever you want. It's up to you, however you want it. And if you want to use the whole apples without wasting them, you can. You can use it because waste not, want not. That's it. That's the way I feel about it. Waste not, want not. Just use all the apple. Take the cord out of it. And you can just leave the cord in and crunch with it. Ooh, Lordy. That's the way it is. Yeah. Okay. Now we got one more little apple. One more little apple that we buried it up. There we go. Get that all done up. This rest is handy. Okay, now back over here to my apples before they burn up. Oh, they're doing good. Okay. There we go. We can put one or two more in this skillet over here so it can, be frying with that. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to stay on this camera all day. No, I can't stay on it all day. I have some things to do. Now, in a few minutes, I'm going to show y'all a little bit how this is going to taste. It should taste pretty good there, because I know it do to me, but I don't know about y'all. Okay? Now, excuse me, y'all, for my singing. I just love to sing. The other day, I went to where they was giving out food to the needy. They was giving out food to the needy, right? So I went down there, I seen the truck, and I said, well, let me stop and see what they're doing down there. And they was giving out food to the needy. And I just walked up. All I did was just walk up, and I said, how everybody's doing and everything. And everybody, most of them was friendly. And the lady that was taking people's names, and she was just standing there, had a beautiful smile on her face. She did. She had a pretty smile on her face. And she was taking people's names, how many children you have, and all that stuff. I didn't recall her name, so I walked up. And she said, ma'am, what's your name? And I looked. I said, ooh, should I do this? I said, Annie. Like that, that's all she wants, Annie. So I gave her Annie name. So she wrote it down. She said, how many kids, that you have? So, I told her. And she said, okay. And so then, it's another lady came up. And she was talking, just talking. And then I know her. And her name was Wee Wee. Wee Wee. That's what they call her. And I didn't mean to call your name, but that's where it is. And she was like, how you doing, Auntie? She come across the street, she was eating on something. And she told me, because I gave my nephew Mike a plate of food, chicken and macaroni cheese and stuff. And she would come across the street picking her teeth, and she called me and she said, hi, Auntie. And, we've been knowing her for a while. And she said, I just got to eating the plate that you gave Mike. She said, it was good. I said, well, thank you. Here's my apples pancake. And I already done cooked some. You see that? How pretty they are? Okay. Then I said, thank you. And so she said, do you cook like that all the time? I said, well, I cook on my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel, Annie Carruthers. Like that. And she said, oh, really? I said, yes. I said, why don't you watch it? Annie Carruthers, give me 2 thumbs up. Not down, up. She said, I'm going to give you 2 thumbs up because I just ate your plate and it's good. And she said, I've been eating your food because you've been knowing me for a long time. And I said, yeah. And so the lady that was taking people's names and signing people's up, she gave me a funny look. She looked at me. And I guess she was saying, what? And so you know what I said to her. And she said, what's your name? I said, Annie Carruthers. Watch my YouTube channel. I cooks. And then she said, oh. And then I said, well, maybe some of the stuff here that I get from y'all, I can go out and feed the needies. And she said, yeah. And so then she gave me a bunch of stuff, and I took it and I fed the needies. Because when you already blessed and fortunate with food and things, you really don't need it. So I didn't need it. I was just walking up to see what they was doing. So I took it and I went and I fed the needies twice. I went one time last week and fed. Today, I went with my husband, my 2 nephews, Mike and James, and my husband, Trickster. And today I went by myself. I was calling James and Mike, but Mike said he was chilling, waiting on a mailman. And James, I don't know, he didn't answer his phone. So I said, well, okay. By the grace of God, which way should I go? Should I go back out south to the high riser, or should I go to the mission? So I said, well, I ain't got nobody to help me to tote this stuff inside the building out south, so I'm going to go to the mission. So I went to the mission with my little red truck. I sit out there, and people was a lot of people out there. And I pull up, and I start unloading my truck. And there was a cop passed by, and he was going inside that building over there, the mission building, I guess. And he spoke, and I said, how you doing? And so it was just things, today. And I said, excuse me, everybody, I'm giving away free food, samples or whatever. If you all would like to have a plate, come on over. And so they started lining up. I had fried chicken, smoked chicken, and barbecue shredded chicken, pinto beans, sweet potato, and just the bread. I had soda, the big bottle with cups, and I had plates, spoons, napkins, and forks. Also, I baked a cherry pie, and I took that out there. Then I had cowboy hats, and I was giving away cowboy hats. I was giving away diapers, coffee maker. I was just giving it away. I said, well, somebody else can get fortunate and blessed. It ain't only me. You know what I'm saying? So I always give people. Always do. So it's just from the kind of my heart. You know what I mean? It just comes from the kind of my heart. Woo, these things are so pretty. Ain't they pretty? Now you can boil these apples if you like for about 20 minutes. Okay? And get them real soft. This one I just stabbed, and it's taking the time coming out. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back. Now we're going to get the rest of them out. They're pretty hot. So I'm going to try to plate up maybe one or two of them. But they're pretty hot now. Yeah, they are. And I'm telling you, it smells so good in this kitchen. Woo, I bet y'all wish y'all was here, don't you? Okay, I'm going to just plate up me one or two of these things here. And I'm going to show y'all what it's all about. And I like sliced tomatoes too. But I ain't got time for that. Here's my little plate right here. I'm going to show y'all. You see that? Oh, Lordy. It just made me laugh when I plate that up. It just made me laugh. Okay, I'm going to get a big one to show y'all how it looks. Ooh, my green crunchy stems, hash brown burger, apple pancake. Here we go, y'all. Say your prayer. Now, I should have took this hat off. Yeah, I would take your hat off and eat and pray. Because we're going to start with the green crunchy stem. Look at one there. Now, you see how tender that was when I bit it? It's good. You can use any kind of dip on it. You can use dip. You can use ketchup, hot sauce, anything you want. Or you can plain like I did. This is my apple pancake. You can take this pancake and you can put syrup on it. Eat it plain, ketchup, whatever. Take a knife and cut it like you're eating a piece of steak. But y'all know me, I'm doing mine the what? Old school way. Boy, it's not crazy. As you fry them, on each side 2-3 minutes. Lay them on some paper towel and let the oil drain out. I always use peanut oil. You can use what you want. This is my hash brown burger. You can put tomatoes, lettuce, onions, put it on a piece of bread, mayonnaise, mustard, hot sauce, whatever. But I'm doing mine the old school way with the pinky. Oh my God. Look at that. That made out of made out of soybean. Call it hash brown. So I forgot to tell you if I didn't. I boil my potatoes, 2 or 3 potatoes, 4 or 5, whatever you want. Chop it up, chop real up a little bit of pieces however. You can use mashed potatoes, whatever. Then a little bit of chop. And then I took my soybean. I bought the soybean that was already, in the jar. Or you can get it fresh and do what you want to. I'm going back and forth because the food good. And I'm gonna tell you something. In hash brown, if you make your own, which I do and I did last time, first of all, you can use pork, chicken, or beef, okay? Or no meat, soybean. You can use soybean. Also, you can use tofu. Okay, so I did mine that way last time. I let y'all know. But anyway, back to what I'm talking about now. So I use the jar soybean, not the can. Where you find that at? Concord. Jar soybean. And I use 1 egg. I use my potatoes. Y'all hear me now? A cup of flour, and then a cup of that flax milk protein, but you can use any kind of milk. 2% regular, 1% however you want it. So I mixed all that together and I call that my hash. You hear me? And so I mixed it up together. And I said, I did it twice. It ain't the first time, but I never put it on TV to show y'all. Well, my YouTube channel put it like that. So I mixed all that together right there. And then one thing I did do, I chopped a half an onion in it, purple onion. I just chopped it up real fine and mixed it with it. And all I did was just mix all that up. And then I put it to the side about 15, 20 minutes, let it rise like you do your cornbread or your biscuit, your yeast or whatever, etc. Then I fried it. It's good. And I called it my hash brown burger. I'm telling y'all, it's good. One more bite, y'all, then I'm getting off of this camera, okay? This apple's so juicy. Y'all got to try my recipe and give me 2 thumbs up. Not down. Excuse me, y'all. Oh. Okay. My green, crunchy stems. Look, you waste not, you won't not. This comes from right straight off the turnip greens. My apple pancake, bite them, cut them, or slice them. My hash brown burgers. Eat them by themselves or put them with lettuce, tomato, cheese, mayo, whatever you want. a ketchup, a bread, or whatever you want. Try it. Now, hey, y'all, I'm going to get off of this camera here. And back to the little lady before I go. The one taking names and numbers. She wrote my name down. I hope she's looking at this my YouTube channels. And give me 2 thumbs up, share, subscribe, and like me. And you know, one time I went to another place too. And I said, let me stop by this little community place here and see what they're doing. And I went in there, and there was some people in line. I said, what is going on here? And so I asked this person, this lady and this man, whoever, and I asked them, and they said, well, you know, they give away free stuff here. Free stuff. And you know, right there caught my eyes because, you know, I love to shop. I'm a shopaholic. And if I can save a dime or a nickel or a penny or a dollar, y'all know what I'm talking about, some of y'all out there, I do that. I will do that. And so it ain't called you begging or nothing. No, it's called you bargaining. Time is hard. No disrespect, but time is hard out there. But anyway, and so I said, well, okay. So I stood in line for about 30 minutes. Finally, I got up there. They asked me my name. Told them my name. And a couple of people looked around at me. That name sounds familiar. They were just looking at me. And I'm like, hey, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing, you know? You just get on here and just make a move, I guess, or you do what you got to do. Well, and no disrespect to nobody else. I'm not talking about nobody else. Okay, I'm just saying me. Okay, and I'm like, okay. And so this lady said, excuse me, do I know you? I said, well, where you from? Did this? I said, no, baby. What school you go to? I don't know. She said, I saw you somewhere. I said, well, maybe you have. And so when I got up there, that gentleman, he wasn't taking people's names and stuff. And he said, he asked me, what did I need? I said, what did I need? Really? I mean, if you ain't got a bag of money, if you can't tell me what a next bargain store at, or if you're not my family, or my kids, my sons, my grandchildren, or my husband, what you mean, what do I need? You don't have the things that I really need. I need money. Don't give me disrespect. No disrespect. So, and I said, like, what? And he was talking, and he said, do you need shoes, clothes, backpacks, da-da-da-da-da-da? And I was thinking about the peoples out there that ain't got nothing and can't even get here to get there to get food or whatever. That's the way I think. And so I'm going to share this. Yes, I am. I'll cook more after I get off the camera. I know this is a long film. Okay. I said, yeah. Do you have backpacks for the children? Do you have shoes for the children and the grown-ups? Do you have a jacket or shirt? He said, yes, I do, ma'am. How many you need? So I told him a few, they did this and this and that. So and he said, okay. So he said, go back there and get what you need. And I'm like, oh, I can go back there? I've seen some people go back there, but I didn't think he was going to, So I thought they worked there. I don't know. So he said, yeah. And he said, he gave me 2 big old bags, big old heavy-duty bags. And he said, fill them up as much as you can get in there. I went back there, and I wasn't trying to be greedy. But I wasn't. So I went back here, and I just seen some good stuff, and I was pimping with it. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Ooh, this shirt looks good. Ooh, these pants look good. Let me get some of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? So everybody just back in there digging. They were just digging. So I got down there and I was digging. Well, but when I got up, I was like this, toting them bags. Hold me. Let me make it to my car. You know, and I made it, and I said thank you to everybody. Thank you. Then, lady came out and she said, hey, don't leave yet. Go around the back and get you 2 boxes of food. I'm like, what? And y'all want to know where these places at, don't you? Okay, all you got to do is Google it up. Free food giveaway and clothes. So, you know, and I was like, okay, no, I'm not being selfish, no disrespect. I said, okay, I went around there. Oh, this man came out with a box this big. I am not telling no story, 2 of them. I said, man, do I got room for all that? So I got on, I made some room. They had chicken, they had real beef, They had hamburger. I said, oh my goodness. So what I did, I rode around after I left there. I went to some homeless. And I started just giving out stuff to them. I giving them clothes, I'm giving them shoes, underwears, wash rags, soap, whatever they need. Backpacks, I'm just giving it away to them. Snacks that I had. I asked them, do you have a stove? Get them chicken. Take it home and cook it, don't let it spoil. Okay, of course, yes, I did kept some of that meat. I sure did. I came home and I made room in my deep freezer a little bit. Best I could. And I took it. I put it in my refrigerator. When I got up that morning and went to work, I took it out, put it in the trash bag, tied them up in the trash bag, put it in my sink, and I let it unthaw. Okay? I let that meat unthaw. By the time I got home from a 12-hour shift, the meat was already, it was still kind of, hard, and I was glad. I took that whole chicken, I just cut it up, and I cut the other chicken up, and I took the other whole chicken, and I got a rotisserie over there, and I put it in my rotisserie. And then I got a air fryer, and I put some in the air fryer, and then I put some on the pot, on the stove with boiling, and I had vegetables, canned vegetables and everything. I done went and bought a whole lot of aluminum pans and everything, and aluminum foil and plastic wraps and da-da-da-da-da. And spoons and everything. And so what I did, 7 to 7 when I was working that job, 7 to 7. Good thing I didn't have to work that next morning. That's when I cook all that. I didn't cook it when I came home. No, and the meat was still fresh. So I cut it up and I made a little more room in the refrigerator and put it back in the refrigerator till the next day. So I got up that morning. That's when I did all that. So I cooked all this food, prepared all this food. My husband came home. He said, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm going to feed the needed and the ones who can't get up and the ones who just can't make it and family members might don't come to see them or they can't get a hot meal or they tired of eating the meal where they ate, no disrespect." And I said, "I'm going there. You coming?" He said, "I'm tired, but I'm on my way." So we got in his truck and we rode. I fed everybody. People was thinking to me. I said, "Well, you welcome." You see, I do things from the kind of my heart. And I thank all of y'all the ones that put this food, and thank God, in number one, for putting this food out for us here so we can get and we can go feed people, because, some people can't. Some people's not fortunate. And so, I got a story to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you, because, see, I learned this. I said I never let my cupboard and my deep freezer and refrigerator go bare again. My son, you know what I'm talking about, and my husband, Tori. So I said I would never do that, and I don't. I don't. I'm running over. No disrespect. Don't mind sharing. So, okay, I'm going to let y'all go. Thank the lady out there that took my name and gave me all that stuff. Thank the people that gave me all that stuff too. And thank her. Hope she watched my channel, Annie Carrera. Hope all y'all do. Hope y'all try my recipe there. Give me 2 thumbs up. Share, subscribe, and like me. Because see there, I do mine the anyway. And you do yours your way. You hear? This is the anyway. I do mine the anyway. And you do yours your way. You hear? This is the anyway. My kitchen and my way. Until next time. Give me 2 thumbs up. Bye-bye. 2 thumbs up. Share, subscribe, and like me.